At 76, one of Hollywood's most recognizable leading men lives a life few would expect. Not in scandal or decline, but by deliberate choice. Once celebrated as the ultimate romantic icon, he captivated global audiences and defined charm for decades. Yet today, he stands apart from the very industry that elevated him. He turned his back on fame, distanced himself from blockbuster culture, and embraced a quieter, more meaningful existence. His journey is not one of loss, but of transformation, a conscious decision to trade status and wealth for purpose, inner peace, and a deeper understanding of what truly matters in life. A humble beginning in small-town America. Born in 1949 in Philadelphia and raised in Syracuse, New York, his upbringing was modest and grounded. Life revolved around family, discipline, and compassion. His father, an insurance agent with a ministerial spirit, instilled values of service and empathy. His mother nurtured a warm, creative household filled with music. As a child, he stood out, not through rebellion, but through curiosity. He explored music, gymnastics, and academics with equal enthusiasm. Even then, there was a sense he was searching for something deeper, something beyond the ordinary expectations of success that defined the world around him. The restless mind of a young seeker. In college, he pursued philosophy rather than a conventional career path, drawn to life's biggest questions. He immersed himself in complex ideas about existence and meaning, though answers remained elusive. Dissatisfied with structured education, he eventually left college, choosing uncertainty over conformity. Moving to New York City, he struggled to find his footing in theatre. He slept in cars, took minor roles, and faced rejection. Yet even in hardship, his determination never wavered. Acting was not just a career, it was an extension of his search for truth, a way to explore human emotion and identity. The breakthrough and rise to stardom. His persistence paid off when he landed roles in theatre productions that showcased his talent. By the late 1970s, his career began to accelerate. Eventually, Hollywood took notice, and he became a leading man synonymous with charisma and romance. Films like Pretty Woman cemented his place as a global icon. He had everything: fame, wealth, admiration. Audiences adored him, studios depended on him, and his presence guaranteed success. Yet even at the height of his career, there was an undercurrent of dissatisfaction. Something essential still felt missing, as if success had answered none of the deeper questions he carried since youth. A life-changing encounter in the Himalayas. In his late 20s, a journey to Nepal changed everything. There, he encountered Tibetan Buddhism and met spiritual leaders who challenged his understanding of life and emotion. Their teachings offered clarity where philosophy had not. Meditation, compassion, and mindfulness became central to his worldview. He embraced Buddhism not as a trend, but as a discipline. He practiced intensely, studied deeply, and reshaped his perspective on existence. For the first time, he felt a sense of alignment, an inner stillness that fame had never provided. This spiritual awakening would guide every major decision he made thereafter. Choosing principle over popularity. As his beliefs deepened, he became increasingly vocal about human rights, particularly regarding Tibet. This advocacy came at a cost. Speaking out against powerful institutions led to professional consequences. Opportunities diminished. Major studios grew hesitant. An entire global market became inaccessible to him. Where others might have compromised, he refused. For him, silence was not an option. He chose integrity over influence, knowing it would reshape his career. This was not a fall from grace. It was a deliberate act of defiance, a commitment to living according to his values regardless of the personal or professional cost. A different kind of wealth. Over time, his priorities shifted dramatically. Material possessions lost their appeal. Lavish homes, luxury cars, and private jets no longer defined success. Instead, he focused on simplicity and presence. He spent more time with family, embraced quieter routines, and distanced himself from the relentless pace of Hollywood. Wealth, as he came to see it, was not measured in assets, but in experiences. The joy of everyday life, conversations, laughter, connection, became more valuable than any award or paycheck. This transformation reflected a deeper realization. Happiness cannot be accumulated, it must be cultivated. Family, fatherhood, and a new purpose. Later in life, fatherhood brought profound meaning. Raising young children in his 70s reshaped his understanding of time and presence. Moments once overlooked became precious. Teaching, guiding, and simply being there carried more significance than any role he had ever played on screen. He chose to prioritize his family over public life, finding fulfillment in the ordinary rhythms of parenting. His legacy, he decided, would not be measured by inheritance or fame, but by the values he instilled. He sought to raise children who understood compassion, purpose, and responsibility. Redefining legacy and success. Rather than leaving wealth to his children, he chose to direct his resources toward causes that aligned with his beliefs: education, humanitarian aid, and support for underserved communities. His focus shifted from personal achievement to collective impact. He also worked on projects that reflected his spiritual journey, including documentaries that shared insights on happiness and compassion. For him, legacy was no longer about recognition or remembrance, it was about contribution. He aimed to create opportunities for others, ensuring that his success served a broader purpose beyond his own life. Conclusion: the courage to live authentically. His story challenges conventional ideas of success. In a world that equates achievement with visibility and wealth, he chose a different path. He walked away from admiration to pursue authenticity. He sacrificed opportunity to uphold principle. And in doing so, he discovered something far more enduring than fame: peace. His life serves as a reminder that true fulfillment comes not from external validation, but from alignment with one's values. The greatest success is not what we gain, but how we live. In the end, his journey reveals a simple truth. Meaning is found not in having everything, but in knowing what truly matters.